Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. Then today's episode, yeah, that stretch felt good. Alright, so I wanted to talk on my journey lately with gaming because, man, I'm telling you, I don't know what's been going on lately with developers, and I know people are probably gonna be all like, "Oh, you don't know nothing about video game development." Yeah, I guess somebody that's been playing video games for, because I'm trying to think, if I started playing video games, I was like 2 or 3, 25, 26 years ago. Yeah, I guess I don't know anything about video games. You know, playing video games on multiple consoles, playing multiple genres of video games. Yeah, what do I overall know about video games? My thing is this. That's like telling Triple H that he doesn't know how to run a wrestling business because he's never ran a wrestling business before. Yeah, let's just erase the idea of him been wrestling for how many years? Like, when did Triple H debut in wrestling? Hold on for a second, because right now, bro is killing it with WWE. But how long was he actively wrestling? So he started back. So he was pretty much wrestling for 30 years, 1992. So 20. All right. So wait a minute. Let me do this math real quick. So 1992, 2002, 2012, 22. Yeah, 30 years. He wrestled for 30 years, and you mean to tell me this man, all right, has been wrestling longer than I've been alive? I mean, he ain't actively wrestling right now, but still, even from that time frame, that's longer than I've been alive, since I have been breathing Earth's air. And you mean to tell me that this man don't know nothing about running a wrestling business? And he's been wrestling for 30 years. Like, he has literally been, this has been his life. And he don't know nothing about wrestling. Yeah, you try telling him that. Currently, right now, in his position, you try telling him that. Because I guarantee and I promise you, if a video game studio had led me into being like the manager or just the guy that's overseeing the video game being developed, I guarantee and I promise you, we're going to get a fully developed video game. It ain't gonna be no, oh, well, let's release a tech demo right now, and then sometime down the road, then we'll release a video game. No, sometime down the road, just release the video game. A tech demo don't need to come out right now, especially not for no $30, all right? 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, however much money you guys want to slap on to that to the title of that video game. But it's like, no, bruh, that's the thing that really, and that's why I don't like so much about gaming right now, is that it seems like a lot of developers are so comfortable with releasing tech demos and not actually just taking the time and releasing a video game, like a full video game, not half of it. That's the crazy thing about it. You don't even see where developers be releasing half of a video game. Like, there's the one game, Assetto Corsa Evo, where the fans, they were so down for defending that video game. And even now, I still get some comments from time to time, people trying to defend that game. But I'm like, okay, where are you guys like currently right now? The way you guys was defending that game, it's like, I'm expecting that every single day. And the funny thing was, like, when that game came out, everybody had liked it. But then as the time went on, that game's been out for how long now? Hold on for a second. Because the game is permanently mine. That's a game that I can't get rid of. But game's been out since January 16th. So let's count up the weeks. So 1, 2, 3 weeks. Game's almost 3 weeks old. And you mean to tell me that the developers, they can't come out with no proper update to fix the game? Game's just stuck in offline mode, and it's like, for what, bruh? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Playing one video game, there was this one space game that I had played today where it was like the game. So you know how, like, if you're a PC player and the escape button is usually the pause button, it was rotating the ship. And then I pressed literally every single key that's used for PC gaming, and nothing had opened up the pause menu. So how am I supposed to leave up out of this game? I play games where they don't even have like a proper autosave. That was that one game Denizen. Where are some other games I've played? Even like, no, then you even have it where developers, they'll be like, oh yeah, we're remastering old video games. So EA calls themselves remastering The Sims 2, and that was one of my favorite Sims games growing up. If not, that was my favorite Sims game growing up. I put a lot of, because I think that was the one that came out on the PSP I played the PSP version so much, bro. I'm telling you, it was one of those things where I'm like, man, like I'm telling you, because I think I still do have my PSP. I just need to get a battery for it. But if I get me a battery for a PSP, yeah, bro, I'm definitely playing some old PSP games again, because I'm like, man, it was fun. It was fun playing that game. But yeah, EA, so they go and they remaster The Sims 2. Of course, I had to go out and buy it. Yeah, game wasn't good. It was like this game was having issues, and I'm like, bro, and that's what I think. Probably if they would have released it on console, I probably would have just played it on there. And I'm like, I don't know why you guys released it on console before. Why not release it on console now? Yeah, and that's the thing I just don't understand. I'm like, you guys, we're developers where it's like, they just, the way that they go about gaming right now, it's like, it's almost as if like you don't want people to be a fan of video games no more. Like when I look at video games from back then, where it's like, yeah, let's talk on The Sims 2 back when it originally came out. I had to, because I remember before The Sims 2, I wasn't really into it that much. Like, yeah, I would play it from time to time because my sister was a fan of The Sims games. So like whatever games that she had, I played. Whatever games that I had, she played. And yeah, she had The Sims, and so I remember playing the Herbs. I remember playing what was some other ones. I feel like there was another one that came out during that time. But regardless, whatever Sims game that she had, my Apple Watch is telling me I'm being loud right now. It's like I can't help it, I'm black. But anyways, yeah, whatever Sims game she had, I was playing it. And that was the thing though. I never thought that was something that never crossed my mind, was that this game isn't fully developed. That was something that was unheard of back then. And there are video games that I played where it was like, yeah, you heard, because there was the one racing game that I had just recently played called Enthusia Professional Racing. And it was this like old PlayStation 2 game. And it didn't live up to the hype as like Forza, Gran Turismo, Midnight Club, and all these other different racing games that came out during that time frame. No, that game, from what I heard, that game only got promoted maybe I think for like a week maybe, and then after that, then the developers just disappeared. Now I think that was the one and only time that they made a whoever, or let me see who made Enthusia Professional Racing, because I was looking up stuff about this game left and right. So developers, Konami. I wonder if they made any other racing games besides that one. Video games, list of Konami games. I wonder if they don't have something where it like tells you like the list of racing games, maybe, or a list of, let's just search that. I didn't want to copy it. I know I pressed search. List of Konami racing games. Let's see what Konami Crazy Racers, Road Fighters, Crazy Kart Racing, Thrill Drive. I ain't never heard of any of these games. Do they have any like newer games that they done came out with, or was that it? Because I'm like, I know you guys. No, I don't think they don't even have Enthusiast. See, that's why I don't like looking up stuff, because at times it's like the things that I want to see, it's like they don't be popping up, and so I'm like, man, it's like just a clear search, and it's like it just, okay, maybe this might be, nope, because they're showing Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid, and I'm like, I know for a fact them games ain't, so I ain't even gonna fool with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it alone. But anyways, overall though, there wasn't no other Enthusia Professional Racing games that came out after that, and the budget would have got cut based off of, because I did play that game, and that's a game where I'm like, I had more fun playing Forza and Gran Turismo than I did playing that game. That's a video game where I'm like, I only got that game because it had an Astro van in there, and I wanted to do a comedy skit where overall I'm like, because if you guys know of the comedian DC Young Fly, he was telling this story one time how he got an Astro van, and I overall wanted to do a TikTok video just showing the Astro van, and then overall like, poking fun at the DC Young Fly situation, but or his story about the Astro van. But yeah, overall though, I did take the time though to just sit down and play that game, and I'm like, yeah, not a fan. I'm like, maybe I gotta sit down and play more of it. But it's like, that was the one thing though with PlayStation 2 games, like if you didn't like it, you knew you didn't like it right when you started playing it. Nowadays it's like with video games, you gotta get through a tutorial, then you have to get through the like a tutorial mission, then, and it's like stuff like that be taking 2 hours, or it could be like how it was with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 a few years years back where they were like, oh, let's release the game a little bit early, have it where people play the story mode, go beyond that 2-hour mark and 2-week mark, and now they're stuck with the game. So it's like they're trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, we did all good with these sales, and it's like, no, you tricked people. You made it seem like that you guys was releasing a good Call of Duty, but it wasn't. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. At least not the PC version wasn't. There was at a point in time where I couldn't even start that game up. So it's like, how are you going to tell me that that's a good game if the game ain't even starting up? Like, that's something that I would like a genuine answer to. Like, I want answers for that. Because that, to me, I'm like, if you look at any video game, let's just say Need for Speed Most Wanted, the original Need for Speed Most Wanted. Do you think EA would have survived if they released that game and the game wasn't starting up for people? Every single copy of that game was broken. I guarantee and I promise you, EA would have faced a lawsuit and their company would have got shut down. So my thing is this, why can we not have that same energy now? Because the thing is this, I feel like that there are just way too many people in this. Well, you know what? No, because that was one thing that I was saying about the new Battlefield game that's coming out there. It's like, you guys gonna have to get the fans involved. And I'm like, not them fans. And I feel like that's what it is that people go and watch YouTubers that talk so good about a game because that YouTuber is being paid off from that company to talk good about their video game. The fans are gonna mimic that or mock whatever that YouTuber is saying. So then when a person does talk bad about the game, then it's like that person's mind's all wrapped up on, oh, this game is good, when in reality it's not. Like, I'm not hearing nobody that's telling me that Assetto Corsa Evo is good right now, and the only two things you can do in that game is quick race and practice. Them the only two things you could do, not time attacks, not no leaderboard. Because even if they would have had some stuff like that where it's like, just get the best time on this track, fam, I would be all for that. I would actually be playing the game if they had some stuff like that, but they don't. All they just got is quick race and practice. What am I going to do with that? My thing is this, though. What racing game from during that PlayStation, even if we're just talking on like the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era, let's go up an era. What racing game came out where the only two modes it had was quick race and practice? No multiplayer, no time attacks, no career modes, no nothing. Just quick race and practice. Do you think Forza would have survived if it only had two modes? Do you think Gran Turismo would have survived if it only had two modes? Oh, and then 20 cars and 5 tracks? Do you think, let me think of some other games. Midnight Club, Need for Speed. What are some, even that Enthusia Professional Racing? I feel like that game got a lot of tracks and cars in it. But it's like, in different modes on top of that. But it's like, you give people the bare minimum, and then you're expecting us to just have all this support for the game. Oh, because it's in early access, the game gotta cook. No. My thing is this, it's like, you're pretty much eating like raw food. You're pretty much eating raw food that shouldn't be eaten right now. And my thing is this, if you're gonna let a game cook, you need to let it cook for the time that it needs to be cooking. But it's like, you're letting it cook for like 5, my thing is this, right? If you put some food in the oven that takes like 30 minutes to cook, don't take it out at the 5-minute mark and be all like, oh, well, let's just keep putting it back and forth in the oven. No, if it takes, how long, hold on for a second. Let me see, how long does it take? How long, well, you know what, let me ask ChatGPT because I feel like a bunch of articles is going to come up. How long does it take for a fully developed video game to be in the works? The time it takes for a fully develop the time it takes to fully develop a video game depends on factors like game scope, budget, team size, and technology. Here's a general breakdown. Small indie games, development 6 months to 2 years. Example, Celeste and Hollow Knight. Note, smaller teams, sometimes solo developers, often uses existing engines like Unity and Unreal. Mid-sized games, so AA games, development time 2 to 4 years. Sinners, so whatever, Sacrifice and the Plague Tale Requiem, I don't know, but anyways, notable teams of 50 to 150 people, moderate budget and polished but not massive open worlds. Large AAA games, development 3 to 6 plus years. Examples: The Last of Us Part 2, 6 years. Red Dead Redemption 2, 8 years. Notes: large team, hundreds of developers, big budgets, and long playtesting cycles. So Red Dead Redemption 2, let's just use that game as an example right now. So Red Dead Redemption 1, that game came out back in, and I wonder how long was Red Dead Redemption 1 in development. I'm gonna Google that because I'm pretty sure they might have that. How long was Red Dead 1 in development? Let's just see. 5 years. All right. So, and then Assetto. How long was Assetto Corsa Evo in development? Assetto Corsa Evo has been 5 years in development, designed to move forward forever. What does that even mean? That's something where I'm like, but no, my thing is this. So they said development started in around 2019. You mean to tell me that you guys have had this game in development for 5 years and all you've managed to come out with is, and I wonder how long was, and I think yeah, so wait a minute, how, like, because I think Forza Horizon 4, that came out, how long was Forza Horizon 5 in development? And I know people are going to be like, oh, well, they're using their engine was developed in 3 years instead of 2, and it shows. Are they trying to say that was bad? Because I'm like, Forza Horizon 5, I have to say that was probably my favorite Forza out of all of them. So, yeah, how long was Forza 5? Forza Horizon 5 was developed in 3 years instead of 2, and it's okay, so it's just saying the same thing that I've seen on Reddit. But my thing is this: that's a much more bigger game than Assetto Corsa, because I'm like, they had open world, they got the career mode, they got all these different missions, a gang of cars, and I know people will probably be all like, oh well, that they probably just copied and pasted their stuff over. Why not Assetto Corsa not just do the same thing? You guys already, how many cars, I wonder, did Assetto Corsa 1 have? How many cars does Assetto Corsa have? Although they were only 20 cars. No, that's confirmed. There will be 100. No, that's how many cars are in the game. So you have a complete unrealistic GT. What are they talking about? Dang, it's just a simple question. Okay, let's just see what ChatGPT says. Because I'm like, I don't know why. It's like you be looking up stuff on Google and it's just, that just don't even make no sense. But the base game of Assetto Corsa includes over 100 cars, ranging from road cars to GT and racing prototypes. However, with DLC packs, the total number exceeds 170 cars. And you guys could have very well copied and pasted that stuff over, polished it a little bit so it looks more modern. Because I imagine, yeah, it's like, you're adding a car that's like, or content that's like 10 plus years old into a new game. It's like you guys very well could have just copied that stuff over, polished it up, and then you're good. And it's like, even with the modes, it's like copy and paste that stuff over, polish it up, you're good. And I'm like, you guys could have did that within a couple of months. So I'm saying, my thing is this: if there's developers that could come out with racing games a lot smaller than you guys and it has a lot of content, and then there's racing games that's bigger than you guys, or if not the same level as you guys, and it could come out with a lot of content, because I'm saying, to me, it's just stuff like that just don't make no sense, where it's like, you guys release your game and the game ain't good. That's not normal, all right? It's not. So, but yeah, it's like, overall, though, it's like, it ain't even a Assetto Corsa Evo. It's just, there's other games I've been playing where it's all like, it just seems like that's a new normal, where it's like, they put out the bare minimum, because I played the one game, Space Engineers, and I'm thinking, the new one, Space Engineers 2, and that's another game where it's like, the first one had a gang of content, but then they come out with this new one, and it's like, okay, where's the content at? I get that you guys want your game to be considered an early access, it's a work in progress, but at the same time, it's like, you got gamers that grew up in a day and age where they played video games that were fully developed and it had a lot of content. That's not hard, bruh. Especially if this is your passion and this is something that you guys want to do. To me, I find that very confusing. Because that's like, I've said this before, that's like me only coming out with the introduction of my videos, but then I lie to my fans and say, oh, I have all the passion in the world for content creating. I don't have passion if I'm only giving you guys the introduction to my videos, but then giving you guys piece by piece of a video for the next 5-10 years. That's not normal behavior. That's not. When there's people out there putting fully developed videos. So my thing is this, right? Let's just look up some other racing games that exist on Steam. So you got I'm trying to maybe like look up some like newer games or something. But anyways, all right, Tokyo Extreme Racer. I'm like that game. It might be because I feel like, well, yeah, that's a game where I'm like, but I feel like they have like a lot of different races that you can do. So they're not like having it where it's just and then they also do have a gang of cars customization. So that game has a lot of content. Let's see some other games that has a lot of. There's this one. It ain't really a racing game. I don't even know why they have this in the racing section. I mean, they do have like a racing mode in the game, but I'm like, it ain't really focused on that. But it's this game called Backyard Boxing. That game had some content in it. Let's see. Even there was this one game I played a little bit of called Torque Drift 2. That game somewhat has some content. Have they released any updates for that game? Last update they did was back in December. Yeah, that's a video game where I'm like, it was more so I was having graphical issues with that game. But let's see some other games on this list. There's this one game. It's like a la mobile. I think I think it was a mobile racing game, but that game looked good. I guess I ain't never played it, but I wish they had like more so games that I had bought or played, but it's like, yeah, there's a lot of these games where I ain't never even heard of, but I imagine a lot of these games do have content within it and stuff. They're not just going to release a game where it barely has any content and you're expecting people to $199 for this video game, and it's a $200 video game. What is this supposed to be? Save, scream, and run, and they're charging $199. That's crazy. Has anybody? There's people that have bought this game. There ain't no way there's people that actually bought this game for the price that they're asking for. No, that's crazy. That's some insane. That's really a game that costs $109. Nah, ain't no way, bruh. There's people that it has to be like somebody that got gifted the game for free, but the developer told them not to say that the game was free. But ain't no way I'm paying $200 for a video game. You're crazy. I'd rather sit down and take my chances with a Settle Corsa Evo than to pay for that crap. But anyways. But yeah, overall, that's another thing where it's like the prices for video games, and it's like there's people out there that wants Rockstar to release Grand Theft Auto 6 at a high price, and I'm like, no, bruh, it doesn't. What you guys need to do is get your act together when it comes to video game development. So then it's all like, then it feels like that, okay, it's like, money's worth spending, and or what am I trying to say? Overall, I feel like that I got a game that I can enjoy. Now I'm like in the money that you guys are asking for, whether it's a $70 game, 60, 50, 40, however, whatever price you guys are slapping on that title. I'm like, okay, I'll feel comfortable paying that much for a video game. But my thing is this: I want a video game in return, not a project that you guys is working on. I want a fully finished, developed project, not half, not 2%, not 10%. 100% of a video game, and then you guys will get 100% of my money. But it trips me out where there's games out there where they offer like 10% of the game, but then they'll give you 100% of a DLC. So it's like, and then they want you to, on top of the money that you're spending on the video game, then they want you to buy the DLCs and the game still in early access. Like, this is where we're at with gaming right now. And I'm like, yeah, bro, gaming right now sucks. Like, if I'm gonna be truthfully honest with you guys, like, this right now, it's the worst time to get into gaming. Unless you can find, like, a really good video game. Other than that, there ain't really a whole lot of good games out there. And I don't know what's going on, but anyways, yeah, overall, I'm like, yeah, gaming ain't good right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. So anybody wondering, oh, should I get into gaming right now? I will wait it out. Or, overall, I think that's what I need to do. I need to start doing some, because I do have, like, one of them, like, top 10 channels, and I need to do some videos where I'm all, like, top 5 games to play right now that are actually good. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.